closer to the desk here. Rolling. Add some extra light. Avoid this screw. Put these right here for now. Oh, got a little floppiness going on. Alright. I did mistitle this video a little bit. It should be practice, because this is practice more or less for an edited video. Alright, so I got this tube, and the reason we're showing it today is because it needs to be put back together. It's a beautiful, beautiful oscilloscope cathode ray tube. Pretty big. Quite a bit longer than your normal TV tubes. But they all work pretty much the same way. The only difference between this and a television tube, television tubes have magnetic coils, 4 of them, around the side of it to deflect the electron beam left, right, up, and down. This instead uses electrostatic deflection plates. There's one on this side, one on this side, and then up front, one here and one here for the X, Y's, and Z's. But yeah, let's get another beautiful look at this tube, and we'll go ahead and show you what each part does. So let's set this here somewhere safe. We'll take a look at this diagram we got right here. We have in the back our heater coil. It runs AC or DC, anywhere from 3 to maybe 9 volts. It heats up nice and red hot, and in a vacuum it won't burn up because these are vacuum tubes. And it heats up this cup right here. This cup gets nice and hot, and it emits electrons that are negatively charged, and they're at a really high voltage potential, and they're gonna want to be pulled towards the positive end. And up here we have a ring. It's at this actually isn't a metal ring. This is the same kind of, like, it's a silver coating. Hold on, if I have my other tube. Here we go. If we look at this tube right here, you can see the silver coating. That's what this ring is meant to represent. And then separated by glass, we have this DAG or diag, I forget what it's called, but this is also a conductive coating of paint, and that's pulled to ground. And what that does is it forms a capacitor for the 8 to 10 kilovolts that this front is held at. There is also a screen. It's really transparent, but when you look at it with the light in front of it, it looks like a solid piece of metal. But if you put a light behind it like this, you can see right through it. It's really crazy, but it's pretty far inside this tube. Let's see. If we shine the light, yeah, you can kind of see it right down in there. You can't see through it, but if I put the light behind it, let's see. I gotta turn this other light off. Hold on. There we go. It looks like it's not even there. You can even see the graticules through it. And then we put the light in front. Looks like it's screen. Anyway, moving on. Turn our light back on. So we have our cathode cup right here. It's at a high potential. And this next cup, this is the screen. It's represented here. You can see right here is our heater. Here is the cathode held at a high negative potential. And then right here, this one right, is our control grid. It's going to control whether the electrons fly through or not. If you ever heard the saying, opposites attract and alikes repel each other? If this thing is at positive, it will let the electrons through, and if it's a negative, it'll repel. So if that's open, it'll continue to go through. This is an accelerating cup, and then this is a focusing cup. If we look at this, I think they're multi-purpose too, actually. This one is a lot simpler. If we look, we can see our heater coil in there. Then the next element is the cathode cup. And then I think this is the control grid, or even this next element could be the control grid. But then this would be an accelerator. This would be a focusing cup. And then this next element would also be an accelerator. But I think they're kind of multi-purpose. I think they all do more or less the same thing, like accelerating and focusing. It depends on the voltage. So the voltage will get progressively higher as we go along. And then these elements right here, these are our static deflection. So if you put a voltage on this plate, it will move the beam left. And if you put a voltage on the opposite plate, it'll move it right. Same with these two plates right here. And these plates in the middle, they're also hooked to a voltage, and I'm not quite sure what they do. They might just be another accelerating plate. But yeah, it'll all get pulled towards this screen and then towards this final anode, which that's the suction cup you always see on the side that people tell you not to touch. But even these pins on the back, these are held at quite a high potential. So what I want to do is go ahead and put this back together. And I'm really thinking about getting some old CRTs, some old tubes, and I'll cut them off right here and make lightsabers with them. I'll fill them with gas and put a high voltage through them. And I'm hoping what I see is a beam run through there. I think that would look really fucking cool. But yeah, as the last thing, it has these coils that run around the tube. Here's the coils right here. They go on the back. And what they do is they help keep the beam tight. They're like collimating lenses. You can see we got them on the diagram right here going around a tube. I'm not really sure where they get placed, but I think one goes up here in the front and the other is here in the back. Ah, yeah. Yeah. Of course. So yeah, this one goes up here and the smaller one goes in the back. But I need to go ahead and stick them back in. So much for remembering how any of this went. But I suppose we should look at the tube drawing. If anybody ever needs this, I was looking up the pinout for the tube and I couldn't find it. But this is a Tektronix oscilloscope tube. I don't know the numbers. I mean, there's numbers on here, but when I looked up the numbers, I couldn't find anything on it. So yeah, pin 1 and 14 is the heater. It's the first and the last pin. The second pin is the cathode. That's where the electrons come out of when it's nice and hot. Um, pin 3 is the grid. And then pin 8 is the next elements that has elements 2 and 3. But pin 4 is an accelerator. 5 is an accelerator. 6 isn't used. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm off camera. Um, pin 7 is another accelerator. G10 is that weird screen accelerator. Yeah, that's pin 10, the weird screen accelerator. And then 11, 12, and 13 aren't used, oddly enough. And then, of course, we have our anode cup, which connects to our silverness. It connects to the silver. It actually doesn't connect to the front of the screen. I always thought that there was elements in these screens, but there isn't. Let's see if I... There's nothing in there. It's just a hollow bud. Hollow buddy guy. And then if we turn it that way, that's what that button goes into. Very interesting stuff. Oh shit, hey Ardash. Adarsh. Adarsh died. Oh, I can't read that language. But yeah, really nice diagram, right? Of course, don't know the voltages. This will be at negative 3 to 10 kilovolts, depending on the size. This might be plus or minus 100, maybe 300, and then this is anywhere between 10 and 8 kilovolts. These, they get progressively higher as you go along, and some of them you have fine control over, and then this I've got no clue. Those electrostatic deflection plates, they could be 500, 800 volts, who knows. But we are going to hook this thing up and we're going to make a really cool clock out of it. And what's going to happen is you'll see the hours is a wave and the minutes is another wave and the seconds is a third wave, and you would have to decode it. The good thing about keeping it a wave is you'll be able to make the electronics really simple. I'm going to make it all tubes, and then we're going to hit it with lightning or something. I don't make sure that it's EMP. Look at that drawing. Drawn by hand. That's probably the best thing I ever drew. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put this thing back together. I don't think anybody wants to see that, so hasta la vista. I'm going to come back though, and I'm going to take this apart real quick.